Welcome, folks, to the next episode of BattleTech Simplified. I'm Michael Shockman, I'll be your host and commentator, and in today's episode we will be covering a mech that in every way, from its firepower and protection to its mobility and its sheer fear factor, is truly worthy of its namesake. Today we will be covering the Awesome. Technicron Manufacturing began production on the Awesome in 2665 to replace the STR-2C Striker. What they produced not only replaced the aging Striker, it also became one of the most feared battle mechs of all time. The Awesome is built around its ability and impressive all-energy based arsenal and heavy armor, making it a highly independent and powerful assault mech. Rugged and reliable, the Awesome is traditionally used in a vanguard role when penetrating enemy defenses. The Awesome's massive firepower also lends it to defensive actions, acting as a mobile turret when necessary. Because of its reliance on PPCs, the Awesome is able to act independently for extended periods of time. This trait is also useful in siege situations where the mech can keep up in a constant barrage, allowing it to win battles of attrition through bleeding an enemy dry. The only downsides to the Awesome is its low maneuverability and lack of rear-facing weaponry, making it vulnerable to being outflanked and surrounded by lighter mechs. Although good intelligence and a well-deployed screening force can mitigate this issue. Originally built for the Star League out of Technicron's factory on Savannah, the Awesome soon became a common sight in the armies of the House Lords. At the start of the Succession Wars, the Free Worlds League was able to maintain control of the Savannah factory, making them the only successor state capable of building new Awesomes, and thus the largest user of them. Lycom Davian Introtech had been producing the Awesome and other designs from their main factory on Demeter, but the Capellan Confederation struck at and destroyed the manufacturing lines on Demeter early in the First Succession War. Eventually, Technicron partnered up with Irian Battlemechs Unlimited to open a new line on Irian, although neither one was willing to tamper with the venerable design. The discovery of the Helm Memory Core, however, and the onset of the clan invasion finally spurred them on to build a new variant, the AWS-9M, which took advantage of recovered lost tech to address some of the issues of the original. The AWS-9Q was built in time to take part in Operation Guerrero, while the advanced AWS-10KM, built at the time of the Jihad, was the result of a joint venture between Irian Technologies and Al-Shain Weaponry. The Awesome has a limited but effective armament consisting of 3 Creus PPCs, one mounted in its right arm and 2 split between the left and right torsos. These give it an immense amount of damage potential at ranges exceeding 500 meters, enough to destroy some mechs in a single salvo. Although at point-blank range they are less powerful. For close combat, the mech mounts in its head a diverse optics Type 10 small laser, while its left arm ends in a battle fist sufficient to hand-to-hand fighting. To handle the tremendous heat load of its weaponry, the Awesome carries 28 heat sinks, although even these can be overwhelmed. Most pilots only fire 2 of their PPCs per salvo to reduce the strain. With 15 tons of armor plating, the Awesome is one of the most heavily armored assault mechs in the inner sphere, making it better protected than even the Battlemaster, including some of the thickest rear armor of any mech. Although an enemy coming at it from the rear or left flank has a fighting chance, most soldiers agree that the only defense against an awesome is another awesome. As for my personal feelings on the awesome, ladies and gentlemen, I have to say that it is an amazing damage dealer at long range. It kind of takes what the Warhammer does and doubles down on it with the addition of an additional PPC, though sacrificing a lot of the additional weaponry that the Warhammer has to add more heat sinks, to add more armor, and to add that additional PPC. It is definitely a very effective damage dealer at long ranges, but if you can close within it and you can manage to avoid its battle fist, it can have a little bit of a hard time defending itself, especially from the left flank or from the rear. So what I would have to say about the awesome in terms of my opinion is that as a mobile gun platform, it is great. Would it be my first choice in a fight? Probably not. But still, it is worthy of its name. Thank you, folks, so much for joining me on this premiere episode of Season 4 of our BattleTech Simplified series, where we cover the assault mechs. Stay tuned for next week when we cover the 85-ton weight bracket and the mech therein. I think you guys are going to enjoy it. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing and liking the video. Also, be sure to check out the links down in the description. Thank you so much. I'm Michael Schachman. I've been your host and commentator. And remember, as always, folks, no guts, no galaxy. Later, everybody.